You lost, rookie? The words dripped with sarcasm as the Navy SEAL leaned back in his chair, arms folded, a smirk dancing on his face. His voice was loud enough for the entire tent to hear, and the laughter that followed was anything but subtle. The woman standing at the entrance didn't flinch. She stepped forward slowly, her boots silent against the canvas floor, eyes locked straight ahead, her expression unreadable. She didn't look like much at first glance, no towering build, no bravado, just calm intensity and posture that screamed discipline. Still, to the men seated around the operations table, she looked too young, too slight, too out of place. The mocking SEAL chuckled again and nodded toward her gear. That vest even fitted properly, Princess. Hope you didn't break a nail on the way in. The others chuckled awkwardly, unsure whether to join in or look away. She said nothing, just stood there, unshaken. Then the flap at the back of the tent opened and in walked Captain Rollins, silver hair sharp against his decorated uniform. The room snapped to attention except for the woman who remained still, unreadable. Rollins walked straight to the table, set down a thick folder, and took a moment before speaking. I want you all to meet someone, he said without looking at her. You've heard the name, even if you didn't know the face. Murmurs shifted through the group. The SEAL who mocked her leaned forward, squinting. This is Commander Eliza Ward, Rollins continued. Navy Cross, Silver Star. 3 combat tours under Joint Special Operations. Lead architect of Operation Iron Breaker. He turned and faced the room. And as of this morning, she's your new superior officer. The tent fell into stunned silence. Jaws slackened. One man dropped his pen. The mocking SEAL paled. Eliza finally stepped forward, removing her gloves one finger at a time, her eyes never leaving the man who mocked her. Not a trace of arrogance, just calm precision. You assumed I was a recruit, she said quietly, almost kindly, because I walked in without announcing myself, because I didn't puff my chest, because I didn't meet your insult with a louder one. She looked around the tent, and because for men like you, rank has always looked one way. She placed her gloves on the table, beside the maps and markers they'd been using to plan the next operation. But rank isn't volume, or swagger. Rank is earned when no one's watching. When you're dragging your teammate through gunfire. When you're holding a bleeding artery closed with one hand and radioing air support with the other. Rank is earned in silence, in grit, and sometimes, she turned to the SEAL, who now sat perfectly still, by staying quiet long enough to let someone show you who they are. Rollins didn't interrupt. He didn't need to. The entire tent was dead silent. Some were staring at her with awe, others with guilt, but no one looked amused anymore. Eliza finally broke her gaze from the SEAL and turned to the others. I don't need you to like me, I don't care if you doubt me, but starting tomorrow, I'll be leading you into terrain you've never crossed, facing an enemy that doesn't care about your doubts. And when that moment comes, you'll know I've already earned your trust, with or without your permission. She turned back to Rollins, gave a small nod, and took the seat at the head of the table, the seat none of them had dared touch. The captain smiled faintly and sat beside her. The debriefing continued, but the tone had changed. Questions were sharper, eyes were clearer. The same SEAL who had mocked her earlier now scribbled notes feverishly, unable to meet her gaze. But Eliza didn't carry bitterness. She wasn't there to punish anyone. Her authority didn't come from needing to prove herself. It came from already having done so. From leading missions most of them had only read about. From bleeding and losing and surviving, so others didn't have to. Later that evening, as the tent emptied and dusk fell over the base, the SEAL who had mocked her stayed behind. He walked up to her, his voice lower this time. Ma'am, I was out of line. She looked at him, then stood slowly. You were? He nodded, swallowing hard. I'd follow you into hell. Just wanted to say that. She didn't smile, just held his gaze. Make sure you're ready when we go. And with that, she left the tent. Behind her, the team that once doubted her stood in stunned respect. She hadn't needed to demand silence. She had earned it. Because true power doesn't announce itself. It walks in quietly, stands tall in the face of ridicule, and lets truth do the talking. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment where are you watching from. If this story moved you, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this one. You never know, the next one might just change your life.